Good morning, everyone. Happy Sunday, happy long weekend, and if you celebrate, happy Thanksgiving. I just got back from a nice long week vacation where we traveled up north to, morning Stephanie, traveled up north to, I think it's pronounced Mickey-Soo, anyway, it's a provincial park close to between Gravenhurst and North Bay. Really pretty there. It was actually pretty quiet, I guess, because it's, well, one, it's October, but two, because there was literally, it's before the long weekend. So as we were leaving, the park was getting pretty filled up with RVs and that, but we, because we were there a week before, there literally was no one around in our area. And yes, we rented an RV for the first time and tried that out. It was pretty good. It was an adventure. It was fun. We totally would do it again, but it was beautiful up there. So yes, it was nice to get away for a week and just enjoy nature and go out for lots and lots of walks. Morning. Okay, so let's get started. And hopefully I've got no more foam on my face. So this morning I'm just going to get started. Good. Hi, Lisa. Hi, Jim. How's everybody doing? Good morning. Thank you. So anyway, I'm going to get started. There's just the two of us. So we're not going to do a huge turkey or anything like that. We're just going to keep it small. We'll still have like a dinner, but just a little different. So Victor's already been up and got our little chicken ready to go. It's just a small chicken. And we've actually, he's dry rubbed it with the chicken broth, the Tuscan chicken, and our rosemary and garlic with, of course, pepper and salt. And that's what's on here. And then he has it upside down first. So the fat from the thighs and all that will kind of go down into the chicken breast part. And then about 45 minutes in, we're going to flip it back over, so the top part where the skin of the breast meat and all that kind of stuff will get all crispy. So it's about an hour-ish for this little guy, but it's all, of course, depending on how big your turkey, chicken, or whatever it is you're eating is. So I'm just going to throw it in the oven and put on our timer, which I can never remember how to use that. Okay. There we go. So that's our chicken. So of course we do have gravy, which can be easily made up. This is our savory vegan one, so it's herbs and mushrooms and stuff. So for example, I can read today. So herbs, black pepper, celery, seeds, things like that. It just takes a little bit, so I don't need to make this right now. I can make it later, right when we're ready to eat, because of course you want it warm. But it's like 2 tablespoons of mix to a cup of water. You can microwave it in a bowl like for 3 minutes. You just mix it up and stir, and then you're ready to go. So that's that. But what I will get going on is stuff for my lunch this week as well. So I have rehydrating chickpeas. So I'm just gonna get it out of the water. And going to just get them cooking on the stove in our multi-purpose pot. So it's about an hour or so. So I got some water, I've got that. I am gonna put a bit of seasoning, and I'm gonna use some of our chicken broth. Butter chicken. I can talk this morning. I know what I'm doing. Really, I do, guys. So I'm just gonna put a little bit of that in there. And so then it has the butter chicken flavoring on my chickpeas for my Nourish bowls for the week. Okay, so that's that going. All right, so I've got chickpeas going, and I've got the chicken going, and then what I'm going to do is get pumpkin spice loaf going. So I'm just going to whip up a couple of eggs. I've got some pumpkin, I don't know what you call it, smush pumpkin thick, whatever. See, it's totally not up this morning. Pureed pumpkin. That's what I'm going to do. So it's a couple of eggs, a cup of the pumpkin puree, and Probably should have opened this before. This is the issue of left-handed people. I buy the $2 can openers because even if I buy the expensive ones, I tend to bust them because of me being left-handed. So for Victor, he has the more nicer looking one, and for me, I get this little guy. So that if I break him, which I will, it's not too bad. Okay. Cup of pumpkin. And I'm just gonna whip it up. So you guys have any plans for this weekend? What are you guys doing? Are you guys meeting people, or are you doing it all virtually? Are you making dinner for yourselves and then going like on Zoom, which I've heard people are doing with the rest of the families that they normally would meet? So 2 eggs, 1 cup of thingy, and a bit of oil. Good. So there you go, that's pumpkin mix with all the seasonings and gluten-free flour stuff. See, totally, I'm awake this morning, I know guys. You tell me what you guys are doing. I'd love to hear. Are you guys having a traditional Thanksgiving type dinner, or are you having something different, or are you bypassing altogether because you got issues with it being Thanksgiving and us calling it that, which is slightly me. I have a little bit of an issue with it, but we'll deal. So basically what I'm going to do is use our muffin pans here and oil them up and do them in the microwave because I've got the stove going. Yes, I will get to that. I will tell you what I'm going to do with the extra stuff. So let me first get my muffins going, and then I will show you what I will be doing with the leftover pumpkin. So dollop it in there. So I am going to treat ourselves with this pumpkin muffins. I'm going to be making caramel cream cheese. I'm using nut cream cheese, but what I'm going to do is make up the caramel in a few minutes, and then when it cools, I will blend it with nut cream cheese, caramel, coconut milk. That's basically what I'm going to do. Once this cools enough that I can actually put it in the mixer, I'll put it in the mixer with this and blend it all up, and then I'll have caramel cream cheese for our pumpkin. So 8 minutes, muffin thingy. Okay, so probably about 5 minutes I'm going to say with this, and then I'll turn it over. Okay, so what am I going to do with the leftover? If you have a ice cube container or the Perfect Petites container or anything like that, this is one of our old ice cube mold ones, so it's like a half a cup or so in here. So that's actually what I'm going to do is freeze it. So I have it for my next pumpkin pie or pumpkin loaf I want to make, or pumpkin pie, or I don't know, anything, maybe even like a curry, I could put it into there. And if I just, stew, just pretty much squash, right? So just gonna do that and make a mess while I'm doing it because it's fun. All right, that's the one thing I do like about our 3-in-1 spatula spoon, because it'll actually get all the way down there if you can see me scraping it, and then I'll do both sides, which is pretty cool. All right, clean it up a little. There you go. That's it. It's gonna go in the freezer just like this. Once it gets all frozen, I can take it out and pop it into a Ziploc bag or something like that. And then I have little squares or ice cubes or whatever you want to call it, of pumpkin puree that I can use for my next one, or even a curry or anything like that. The only thing, of course, is finding yourself, oh, there you go, a flat spot in your freezer. Okay, so hold on while I just double check everything. All right, let's go. Okay, so as I said, I was going to get the caramel sauce going. Heat moving. Now I have to open another can. Okay, I made pumpkin with Mom and turned the rest into dog treats. Yes, exactly. Yeah, you can do that too. With the pumpkin. It does pretty good for, see, I already destroyed my, so our caramel sauce, so it's just organic sugar cane, palm sugar, and vanilla bean. So that's all that. Then I'm just going to put a can of coconut milk in. And stir it up a little bit, and then put it on heat. So I recommend like a sauce, like a frying pan or whatever like this, because more surface area. So it'll actually thicken up faster. Not that I want it that thick personally, because I'm going to be making it into cream cheese, but still, and especially since I'm using coconut milk instead of like whipping cream and butter, which I can't have, which I think a few of you out there can't have as well, all that dairy. So I use the coconut milk instead, and then I just or you could use even almond milk or something like that. It'll just be really runny in essence instead of being all thick. So that's that. Put that on the stove. Yep. Okay, so I actually did 4 minutes, and there's the pumpkin. And then I'm going to just get that, and you're just supposed to turn it, there we go, upside down for a little bit until it finished cooking, and then you can turn it back over. But there's our pumpkin, first set of pumpkin muffins. All right, since it's just us, I don't mind using the same container for the rest. Okay, good. All right. Probably a little much on that one, but that's all right. Okay. So basically my plan today is, yeah, I'm going to make a little bit of like the Thanksgiving stuff. Like we're going to have the pumpkin here, loaves. We're going to have the chicken with the potatoes and gravy and veggies. But what I'm going to also do is make enough for the veggies for this week for some Nourish bowls, which I'm going to actually make more plant-based than Nourish bowls for myself, because as I said, I'm doing the chickpeas, I'm going to do sweet potato, and then that. So then I'm going to put the next set in. Just checking on my caramel sauce. And to make it, it actually does tell you exactly what to do on the side here. So bring it to a boil, reduce the heat for to medium to about 3 or 4 minutes, and then chill before serving, obviously. But I'm just going to let it chill, and then I'm going to mix it in my hand mixer, or stand mixer, sorry, and with the cream cheese, and away I go. Okay. So as I said, I was going to do sweet potato. So I got a big sweet potato. I've got my rectangular steamer, and I'm just going to pop it all up. And then have some sweet potato for my Nourish bowls. So you can use this for, like, as I'm doing right now with the sweet potato. I don't remember like sticking the point in; it will break off. But if you're just using the flat of it, it's okay, because it is our ceramic knife, and it's really meant more for soft veggies. So be careful with it with hard veggies, because it could break. So just be really gentle. Okay, so that sweet potato was super huge, so we're not going to do the whole thing. Alright, so there we go, sweet potato. I'm actually going to use our guacamole seasoning, just because I just want a little bit of the pepper and the garlic and all that, and then put it in here. You can use a little bit of oil or water, whatever you like. I'm just going to put a tiny bit of oil. So then the sweet potato, mix it all up. It's got a bit of the guacamole seasoning on it, and it will go in the microwave. And that's what you don't want to do. That's all right. So you can see it's come to a boil, and I've spilled it all over the stove. So I'm just going to put it down to like low to medium now and just let it continue. The chickpeas are just going. They're literally going to be for an hour, so I don't really need to worry about them. And that's that. And the sweet potatoes are going to be ready once they'll go in once the pumpkins come out. Clean up a little bit. All right. So that's sweet potato done. And that's done, and that's done, and that's done. Okay, so literally, I'm just gonna get prepared for tonight, which is just the getting some potatoes going that I can roast and set them either on our big tray or the little tray. It doesn't matter. Just depends on how many potatoes you have. And then the seasoning can be the same, Tuscan seasoning, or it could be the rosemary and garlic, or even lemon dilly. Okay. That's pumpkin. Okay, so these are the ones that have already been sitting. I can turn them over now. Over here. And then pop the new ones. Just love how it just slides right out. Ooh, toasty hot. And then let these guys sit for another 5 minutes, and then I'll be able to let them cool and then put the icing on it once I'm able to make the icing. Okay, so so literally I'm just chopping up potatoes, and then I'm going to chop up some carrots and celery. That's partly for tonight, and then partly for my sweet potato chickpea Nourish bowls. So some potato chopped up. I'm going to use up our peppers as well, because they're starting to go. If you ever watch Jamie Oliver, he loves doing this. You just pop it and then when you open it up, it literally will just, mine's a little old so it won't do as well as that, but basically the seeds just come right out. If you have a younger one. And this is where this awesome knife comes in handy. So soft veggies chops up wonderfully. That's where I love our prep bowls. Just toss everything in, and when I'm ready to use them, it's set. If you don't have our prep bowls, get yourself, you know, meal prepping type containers, and you can put all your veggies and stuff in that and be ready to go. So when I make my Nourish bowls, I don't tend to make it all up at once. Like what I'll do is get everything chopped up maybe and be ready, and then have it into separate containers. And then when I'm ready to make my Nourish bowl for lunch, I just literally just pop it all together. You know, grab your quarter cup of your protein, and then like 2 big cups of veggies, whether it's greens or carrot, celery, things like that. So there's my peppers already. And then I've got carrots. Same idea. Gonna chop up. Get those going. So for the ones for the dinner tonight, I'm not gonna chop them too much, just enough to go in with the potatoes, because they can roast with them. I recommend chopping up your vegetables before you roast them or cook them, unless you're looking for big pieces, because one, it'll speed up all the cooking time, right? So a little more effort into chopping gets you less time waiting for it to cook. So if my carrots and my potatoes are similar size, this will only take maybe 15 minutes or so roasting, or even just boiling, whatever it is that you particularly like to do, or steam, which is more of my way of doing things. Steaming or roasting. Okay. All right. So for me, that's ready to go. Here's the caramel sauce. It's just gonna sit now, cool off. I'm gonna get the stand mixer, pour it in with the cream cheese, let it mix for like 10 minutes, and then I've got caramel cream cheese. Vegan, actually. Vegan cream cheese. So there we go. So it's nut cream cheese. You use coconut milk and the caramel here, and then that's gonna go on top of our awesome little pumpkin loaf muffins. Don't look at the stove, it's really messy. Okay, sweet potatoes are almost done. And then that's it, pretty much. These ones I'm gonna do smaller because this is my bite-sized like Nourish bowl. So I just have a container here, which I will throw them all into, and then come my morning or my lunchtime, I literally will just, you know, grab some celery, grab some carrots, grab my sweet potatoes that I've already cooked up, grab my sweet chickpeas that I just made, and just kind of mix up a Nourish bowl with maybe some lettuce or and cucumber, which I won't obviously chop up my cucumber yet, but that doesn't take very long, so that's fine. And yeah, so there we go. So if you have any questions, comments, you're looking for any tips on anything, feel free to just message me or post here. But there you go. Just wanted to keep it short and sweet today. At least I hope so. I have no idea what time it is. 10:30. Okay, there you go. So pretty much on time. I'm going to chop a little bit more with some celery and some carrots, a couple more carrots, and then some celery, and then I'll have that ready to go. as I have already the carrots and potatoes ready for tonight. Gravy takes like minutes, not a big deal, and our dessert's ready. And then I'll have a little bit of extra for lunches for the next couple of days. Of course, the chicken will have leftovers, so I will be making something different with that as well once we have some leftovers. I'm still thinking about it, but I'm thinking there's this really cool recipe that I saw Sylvie Rochette post. I'm going to try it. So it's like puff pastry and a weird shell kind of thing, and then make like a chicken pot pie kind of idea, but instead of like a pot pie on top, it'll just be a whole bunch in there, make it like a cute little dish kind of idea. So I might try that on Tuesday, but we'll see how that goes. So anyways, thanks everybody for joining. If you have questions or comments, feel free to ask. Otherwise, I hope you guys have a beautiful Sunday, and that you know, I inspire you to meal prep and take control of your health this way. Anyway, thanks guys.